if you compete pro-am, you're going to see a huge variety in age gaps, whether that be high or low, one way or the other, man, lady, in partnerships. Usually the professional is younger than the amateur. There are more mature people with higher levels of expendable income, higher levels of expendable time that compete. So you're going to have just naturally more pro-am students. You also have a disproportionate number of more senior ladies that want to dance. And so there's only so many more mature gentlemen to go around, you know? So naturally, they're going to need to partner with someone, and it's going to be these younger pros. Next, the pros tend to be younger because, as I've shared in previous videos, dancing pro is hard on your body. Competing is hard. Teaching prime is even harder on your body, you know? So we get injured, so we tend to fall out of that pro-am game if we injure ourselves as we kind of age out of pro-am competition. So usually the student is older than the teacher, not necessarily. And guys, I don't care if your pro is 50 years younger or older than you, it's not gonna look weird on the floor. It is so normal. The world is your oyster as a pro-am competitor, okay? In the pro divisions, it is a whole different animal. And there is what I call ageism, okay? Especially in my own observation and my experience, maybe it's different in your area of the world, ageism against female pros on the comp floor. I was really stunned when I was an amateur level dancer and I started taking like from a really, elite level coaching. There was a pro couple in the studio where I took coaching, where in my opinion and in my friend's opinion, the a lady was significantly more gifted in many ways, showmanship, technique, just physical beauty, had a lot of assets as a professional dancer. And she was dancing with someone that is a bit of a putz in all ways. And so I asked my pros, because it seemed pretty obvious to all of us looking at them, this was a disproportionate partnership. And I was like, well, why doesn't she just get another partner? And they said, and I'm still kind of shocked to this day, but hey, I appreciate the truth. Tell it like it is. Sonny, she is a 35-year-old lady. Who else is going to dance with her? He can replace her in a heartbeat. Shocked me. And even to this day, it's sad that happens because this was a couple of the same age. But yes, ageism does exist. And I would say just, we are human beings with DNA, in terms of physical attractiveness. We are going to be physically attracted, probably, statistically, usually, to a younger looking person. And I'm painting with a broad brush here, but in my experience in my little area of the world, these leads sometimes pick their partners based on their looks and not so much by their dancing potential. Again, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I have seen it, I guess, in my area of the world. And hey, we have friends all over the country here. We have friends all over the world. I would love to hear your experiences, whether your observations are similar to mine, or hey, maybe it's totally different where you are. I'd love to hear that. I love hearing your stories. Always. Now, in the amateur competitive division, this is where amateurs are competing with another amateur dancer. There is more leeway as well with the age divisions. I remember there was a couple one year at nationals competing in syllabus, and this this gal was, I would say 40 years older than her lead. But they danced together several years and successfully went up the ranks. Now, when he got to the pre-champ level and then later championship, he did, I'll say, age down to someone that was age commensurate with him. But honestly, it did not hold them at all back as far as I saw. And I did see them compete many times. We were kind of going up the ranks together. I didn't see that hurting their results. And honestly, you know, if you're talking about an amateur partnership, and he was a much younger dancer, you know, I never asked him about this, but I imagine he had aspirations for competing in the pro division eventually, at the championship level. And as an amateur, he would have to compete in the adult A division. So if he's dancing with someone in her 60s, you know, just athletically, she, you know, doesn't matter how well trained she is, she's not going to be able to compete with him successfully at that adult A level. So they had a very productive partnership, but, you know, as he progressed up the levels, functionally, he did have to age down. I don't think he did that based on lookism or anything like that. It was just more of a physical abilities thing. So that's been my observation in terms of age gaps partnerships. I'd be curious to hear what the age difference is between you and your partner, whether that be a pro-am partnership, amateur partnership, or pro partnership. So guys, hope you found that interesting information for you. And if you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I love hearing your questions. Makes my job so easy. You know, the majority of time I spend on this channel is just thinking each day of something I think you might be interested to hear about or maybe be helpful. And if you don't feel comfortable publicly commenting, shoot me a message on my Facebook page. I'm not a social media person, so you might need to friend me before I can see your message because I'm not really up on that technology, but I promise you I'll respond. And if you send me a message on my Facebook, I will not share your name here. Protect your confidentiality. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning with some more things. Ballroom dance. Have an awesome day, guys. Doodles.